નિસ્તાર પાય છે કે બા. છાડિયા વૈષ્ણવ સેવા નિસ્તાર પાય છે કે બા. નામ શ્રેષ્ઠં મનુમભિષચિ પુત્રમત્ર સ્વરૂપમ રૂપમ તસ્યાગર્જમ રૂપુરીમ માથુરીમ ગોષ્ઠવાટીમ રાધાકુંડમ ગિરિવરમહો રાધિકા માધવાશામ પ્રાપ્તો યસ્ય પ્રતિતા કૃપયા શ્રી ગુરુમ તમ નતોસ્મિ. હે ગુરો જ્ઞાનદાદીન બંધો સ્વાનંદ દાતા કરુણૈક સિંધો વૃંદાવનાસી નહિતાવતારા પ્રસિદ્ધ રાધા પ્રણય પ્રચાર. હે દીનબંધો કરુણૈક સિંધો કુરુ પ્રસાદમ મયિ મંદ મૂઢે લક્ષ્યાપરાધે બહુપાપગાધે તત્પાદ પદ્મે સ્તુમતિશ્ચ કૃષ્ણે. યદ્યપિ અમાર ગુરુ ચૈતન્યરદાસ તથાપિ જાનીયામિ તાહાર પ્રકાશ. ગુરુ કૃષ્ણ રૂપ હયા શાસ્ત્ર્ય પ્રમાણે ગુરુ રૂપે કૃષ્ણ કૃપા કરેન ભક્ત ગણે. શિક્ષા ગુરુ કેતા જાની કૃષ્ણે રસ્વરૂપ અંતર્યામી ભક્ત શ્રેષ્ઠ એ દુઈ રૂપ. નૈવોપયંતિ અપિ ચિતિમ કવયસ્તવેશા બ્રહ્માયુષાપિ કૃતમ રિદ્ધમુધા સ્મરંતા યોऽन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृतां શુભમ વિધુન્વન આચાર્ય ચૈત્ય વપુષા સ્વગતિમ વ્યનક્તિ. Without serving the representative of Krishna, nobody can approach Krishna. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Sachi Mata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radha Kund and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon me. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudeva, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into a dense myriad of sins. Therefore, grace me with your mercy so that my mind may be fixed on your lotus feet and on Sri Krishna. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Every living entity is eternally a servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Therefore, the spiritual master cannot be the servant of Lord Chaitanya. The spiritual master is served by training the disciples in a service attitude. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees. The relationship of a disciple with his spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. Spiritual masters always represent themselves as the humblest servitors of the personality of Godhead, but the disciple must look upon the spiritual master as the manifested representation of Godhead. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. The initiating spiritual The initiating spiritual master is a personal manifestation of Srila Madan Mohan Vigraha, whereas the instructing spiritual master is a personal representative of Srila Govind Dev Vigraha. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our hearts with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Bandhu Mui Savadhana Mate Jahara Prasadae Bhai E Bhavato Riya Jai Jahara Prasadae Bhai E Bhavato Riya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Akya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Akya Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Jai Prasad Pure Sarva Asha Jai Prasad Pure Sarva Asha Jai Prasad Pure Sarva प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जयते भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जयते वेद गाय जहर चरितो वेद गाय जहर चरितो वेद गाय जहर चरितो वेद गाय जहर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना लोकेरा जीवाना हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया एवे जाशु त्रिभुवाना एवे जाशु त्रिभुवाना एवे जाशु त्रिभुवाना एवे जाशु त्रिभुवाना जय प्रभुपदा 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 श्रील प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस AC भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य BBT फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories and glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Now we'll recite the verses from 11th canto, memorization verses. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll recite together. Bhayam dvitiya bhineveshatasya ईशादपेतस्य विपर्यो स्मृति तन्मायातो भूदा भजेत्तं भक्तैकैषां गुरुदेवतात्मा एवं व्रतस्वा प्रियनामकीर्त्या जातानुरागो धृतचित्त उच्चैः हस्ति अथो रौदिति रौति गायति उन्मादवन्नित्यति लोकबाह्या भक्ति परेशानुभवो विरक्तिरन्यत्र चैषत्रिक एककाला प्रपद्यमानस्य यथाश्नता स्युस् तुष्टिपुष्टिशुद्धपायोनुघासम् श्रीहविरुवाच सर्वभूतेषु यः पश्येत् भगवद्भावम् आत्मनः भूतानि भगवति आत्मनि एष भागवतोत्तमः ईश्वरे तदधीनेषु बालिशेषु द्विषत्सु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपोपेक्षा यः करोति समध्यमः अर्चायामेव हरये पूजां यः श्रद्धयेहते न तद्भक्तेषु चान्येषु स भक्ता प्राकृता स्मृतः तस्माद् गुरुं प्रपद्येत जिज्ञासु श्रेय उत्तमं शाब्दे परे च निष्णातं ब्रह्मणि उपासमाश्रयम् श्रीचमसुवाच मुखबाहुरुपादेभ्यः पुरुषस्याश्रमैः सह चत्वारो जग्निरे वर्णा गुणैर्विप्रादया पृथक् य एषां पुरुषं साक्षात् आत्मप्रभवम् ईश्वरं न भजन्ति अवजानन्ति स्थानात् भ्रष्टा पतन्त्यधः लोके व्यवायामिषमध्य सेवा नित्या हि जन्तोर्न हि तत्र चोदना व्यवस्थितिस्तेषु विवाहयज्ञा सुराग्रहेरासु निवृत्तिरिष्टा कृष्णवर्णं तुषा कृष्णं साङ्गोपाङ्गास्त्रपार्षदं यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्रायैर्यजन्ति हि सुमेधसा ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्न्यमभीष्टदोहं तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवाब्धिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम् त्यक्त्वा सुदुस्त्यसुरेप्सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठ आर्यवचसा यदगादरण्यं मायामृगं दयितईप्सितमन्वधावत् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम् कलिं सभाजयन्त्यार्या गुणज्ञा सारभागिना यत्र संकीर्तनेनैव सर्वस्वार्थोऽभिलभ्यते देवर्षिभूताप्नॄणां पितॄणां न किङ्करो नायं ऋणी च राजन् सर्वात्मनाय शरणं शरण्यं गतो मुकुन्दं प्रहृत्य स्वपादमूलं भजता प्रियस्य त्यक्तान्यभावस्य हरिपरेशा विकर्म यच्चोत्पतितं कथञ्चित् धुनोति सर्वं हृदि सन्निविष्टा लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभमिदं बहुसम्भवान्ते मानुष्यमर्थदमनित्यमपीह धीरा तूर्णं यतेत् न पतेदनुमृत्युयावन् निःशेषाय विषया खलु सर्वथा स्यात् शब्दब्रह्मणि निष्णातो न निष्णायात् परे यदि श्रमस्तस्य श्रमफलो हि यदेनुमिव रक्षतः न साध्यति मां योगो न सांख्यं धर्म उद्धवा न स्वाध्यायस्तपस्त्यागो यथा भक्तिर्ममोर्जितः भक्त्याहमेकया ग्राह्या श्रद्धात्मा प्रिया सतां भक्ति पुनातिमन्निष्ठा स्वपाकानपि सम्भवात् आचार्यं मां विजानीयान् नावमन्येत कर्हिचित् न मर्त्यबुद्ध्या सूयेत सर्वदेव मयो गुरु श्रुतिप्रत्यक्षं ऐतिह्यम् अनुमानं चतुष्टयं प्रमाणेषु अनवस्थानात् विकल्पात् स विरज्यते आदरापरिचर्यायां सर्वाङ्गैरभिवन्दनं मद्भक्ता पूजाभ्यधिका सर्वभूतेषु मन्मती तावत् कर्माणि कुर्विता न निर्विद्येत यावता मत्कथा श्रवणादो वा श्रद्धा यावन्न जायते Nridehamadhyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam gurukarnadharam mayanukulena nabhasvateritam puman bhavabdim nataritsa atmaha etam sa asthaya paratmanishtam adhyasitam purvatmair maharshibhi aham tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundangri nishevaiva naivopayanti apachitim kavayastavesha brahmayushapi kritam riddhamudha smaranta yuntar bahistanu shubham vidhunvan acharya chaitya vapusha swagatim vyanakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now we'll have Srimad Bhagavatam class by His Grace Yaśodā-kṛpā Prabhu. We can set up the asana.
Hare Krishna. Good morning and welcome to the Saturday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. This is ISKCON of Silicon Valley Live for those who are watching us online. We meet every Saturday morning to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. And before that, we had a wonderful kirtan led by Kautukarna Prabhu. Thanks again for joining this morning. Some of you are joining here from early morning, I guess 4:30. So let's start with the Jai Radha Madhav Kirtan, and then we can go into the topic for today. Okay? Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Clapping, everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। It's easier like that. I don't want any distraction between audience and me. Just keeps on distracting. So today, no, it's fine. Yeah. So Bhagavatam class, let's start that. But before that, a quick introduction. I'm sure all of you know, but some of the audience online may not be aware of what Bhagavatam is. So many years ago, say thousands of years ago, around 5,000 years ago or so, there were a group of learned people, very intellectual, very caring people. It's not necessary that somebody who is intellectual is always caring for society. Maybe they're using their intellect only for earning money or for their own selfish motives. But it's very rare to find people who are intellectual and caring and merciful to everybody else in the world. So those people, like in the modern day conference and seminars, that seminar happened. For how long? 1,000 years. And all those intellectual people, the great minds of those times, they sat together to deliberate, to think upon, to discuss, to contemplate on what are the good things for people in general. And there were so many questions that they were asking their leader. So one of the questions was, what is that one thing which is good for people in general? Because they could foresee that the world is coming to a different juncture. After the previous yuga was ending, the previous millennium was ending, it's now coming to Kali Yuga, which is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So then they had this discussion, and the narration of the topics that happened after that, it's compiled as Srimad Bhagavatam. So for some, it may be just a book for quick reading, and for different people who just like to read, yeah, it's just a book we can read and we can pass on to somebody else. But then a reader is different from a student. A reader just reads the books, and a student studies the books. So do we want to be a reader or a student? Student. So Prabhu, if you can, one of you don't mind, give me the 4th canto, please. Sorry, I should have got it myself in the beginning. And then there is a lot of knowledge in the world. Anybody can differentiate between what is knowledge versus what is values. People may have knowledge, but they may not have values. Thank you. Please use the mic and think about it. What is knowledge and what is values? And which one is more important? Can you use the mic, please?
Doesn't knowledge bring values?
It should, agree with you, but does it always?
If it's on the surface, I guess. But if it goes deeper, then you have values.
Absolutely, thank you. So she is just precise, right? So it just goes deeper than the knowledge, and it depends a lot on the person who is actually trying to acquire the knowledge. Somebody just wants to just acquire knowledge and get the facts and figures straight and get the information from all over the world, or get the values out of it. Any other thoughts on that?
Knowledge can be very theoretical, but value system is something that we uphold. So we live up to a certain value, but knowledge can be just a theoretical concept.
So theoretical concepts, principles, philosophy, dry knowledge, right? And values is something that we are living up to those principles. Bhaktisiddhanta used to say actually, what a religion without philosophy is sentimentalism. And philosophy without religion is just dry speculation, right? So I think that's a good way to, summarize what you said, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah, as a quick example would be, it's easy to say that eating healthy food is good. So we should eat organic and vegetables and fruits and healthy food, right? What's the value? Very quick.
It gives you energy, and sattvic food. And then your mind is calmer and you think better, meditate better. So that's a value.
And then how do we apply the value in our life? We go to the best food available, we purchase that, and then we offer to Krishna and spiritualize it.
First offer, yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's one thing to say versus other thing to do. And value is something different, deeper than that, okay? Then there's the knowledge. So now, there are so many things. The Bhagavatam is the book. So today we are reading from the Canto 4. This is the book, okay? And now Bhagavatam has, it is 18,000 verses. Honestly, I have not counted them. But I take it for granted because people senior than me, they have told. So I assume it's true. So out of 18,000, not yet, Mataji. Can you shut it off, please? Can you just move to my presentation? Thank you. And let's open the presentation first. So Bhagavatam has so many stories and so many characters. And with the chronology and the intersection of different, because there is a chronology of things like one after another happening, and also some characters overlap, because some characters exist or coexist in multiple millenniums. Like, for example, Dhruva Muni. He shows up everywhere, right? So there are different characters who, and then of course there's a narration done by Shaunaka Rishi to the rishis, the conversation between Suta Goswami and Shaunaka Rishi, and then, Suta Goswami is narrating to Shaunaka Rishi, right? He's the head of the sages. And then it goes one level deeper to Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami, and then one level deeper to Maitreya and Vidura. So there are different characters at different levels of the stories. And so many different characters and different stories have different flavors coming out of it. And if you can, Mataji, please bring up my presentation, the first slide. Now it's a quiz time, very small quiz for everybody. And while she's bringing that up, so the topic for today is detachment, duty, and wisdom. Mataji, is the file okay? Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mata, do you need me for something? If I can. Okay. You can continue kirtan. Sorry for disruption. kirtan while she's fixing the. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ramasakar Prabhu is here, maybe he can do some magic. That's the nature of material world, right? Things can just take turn in any direction, anytime. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Prapremanande. Magic is done, right? I said, Prabhuji is here. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, so the words on the screen are very obvious to all of us here, right? Detachment and duty. And as spiritual seekers, we learn from the beginning that, we have to get detached from certain things and work in a certain way in our life. But then our prime literature, the wisdom text is Bhagavad Gita, right? So most of us start from there. And that talks about duty. So then how do we balance that? Detachment is something which is emotional disengagement. Deep inside, I feel detached with something. It's not superficial. I may be thinking certain ways which keep me away from certain things or aloof from certain habits, people, environment, or some activities or thoughts. Duty, on the other side, is something like a moral, social, ethical obligation that I have to fulfill. I must fulfill my duties for myself, first of all, because I am working for a company which is paying me some money, and I must do my duty for them by doing the right job. Then comes my family, my wife or my parents or my siblings, my children who are dependent on me. There is duty towards them. There is duty towards society. There is some social obligations that we must be fulfilling. Despite a busy day, we have to go to some social events because some people are so loving and caring that they have invited us to be a part of their lives, in baby showers and birthdays and bridal showers and all. And despite being so busy, I make a conscious decision to go there. So this is like my duty that I must fulfill. Duty towards the society, duty towards the country, right? So Any thoughts on how detachment and duty might overlap sometimes? They might intersect, or maybe they conflict with each other. I'll give you my example, to be honest with you. Like, I have a 4-year son, if you know, right? And in the morning, it starts with a duty. Like, he's my son. It's a duty. I have to take him, get ready for the school, and give him good shower and breakfast and food and clothes and everything, and then come back in the afternoon. And then by the time it's like 8 or 9 p.m., put him to bed and all. That's part duty. Then at 9:15, the 9:30, 10 o'clock, the zombie kind of wakes up from the bed, right? And then he's playing around, jumping and running around and shouting and yelling at 11 p.m. And my wife says, like, go to forest. I don't like you. Go anywhere you like. I want to sleep. So in the morning, what starts as a duty, at night it ends up as detachment. Like, go away. I don't like you. Now, those of you who may not have children yet may not be able to relate, but I don't know, Bala, what do you think?
In our house too. It's tough to make them sleep at night.
You don't want to sleep, right? What starts as duty in the morning goes to full detachment in the evening. Like, I don't like you. Go away. But any other thoughts on that?
Is that detachment when she says go away? Detachment, I thought when you're not attached to the fruit of your actions. You're detached from everything, but not really, not caring.
Yeah, at a point when everybody is tired at home, the parents are tired and energy is drained out, the duty just goes away. All it comes down to the point that, I am so detached from my child now, right? So I'm just done with my day. But that's kind of a joke, but yes, what you are saying is right. The detached from, not the duty, detached from the results, right? So this was a joke, obviously, but any serious examples where detachment and duty might conflict, or they may intersect with it? It could happen either way.
It's like we have to balance what is the priority. Like we are riding a bicycle. Mm-hmm. We learn how to ride a bicycle, and then you balance, and then you start riding it smoothly. So everything in the world is like that. We have to balance it.
Yeah, it's balancing. And one key feature of riding bike is it has to keep moving. Yeah. We cannot keep the bike, the two-wheeler, bicycle or scooter or anything, stagnated one place. Stationary doesn't work. So yes, keep a balance, and despite all the odds, keep moving with the life. That's a perfect example. Thank you. What's your name, Mataji?
My name is Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. Hare Krishna. So I was talking about Bhagavatam. It's full of so many characters, stories, and there's a lot to learn from everybody. So how do I go next? Okay. Now, think of a character that comes to your mind, the person who demonstrates determination, austerity, spiritual realization, revenge, anger management, public administration. Detachment, of course, is there as a part of our topic today, and retirement planning. So I asked ChatGPT, by the way, and guess what it said? I said, ChatGPT, provide me a person or a character whose life portrays these incidents. And guess what ChatGPT said? Batman. So we are not talking about Batman today from Srimad Bhagavatam. Well, we can talk, but outside this class, of course, right? But I have not seen Batman movies anyways, but I don't know if any of you have seen Batman. Thais, do you think these things relate to it? Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you. She's keeping me honest here. Yeah, so ChatGPT is not bad. Okay, good. Yeah, so back to Srimad Bhagavatam. So which character comes to your mind? Krishna. Okay, how? And maybe you can relate each of them to him.
Yeah, he had anger, management, detached from the fruit of his action, and revenge when they did things wrong. So the Mahabharata started.
I would not necessarily agree with you because it was not Krishna's revenge. In fact, he was a neutral.
Revenge, but he stood for that woman's right. So.
He went to negotiate first, and he tried to calm down everybody, and he was neutral. So yes, determination and other things, my public administration might apply to him. Determination, yeah, of course. Detachment, of course, Krishna is renounced. We know it's one of his opulences. Anger management, yeah, it applies to Krishna. Yeah. In some cases, we see Jarasandha example, right? Okay, and retirement planning. Well, retirement planning, he was retiring and he got his family killed. So, but yeah, that's one of the planning ways Krishna was implementing in his life. All the killing of all the Yadus after he was retiring. Revenge, maybe not. I mean, we can agree to disagree here, Sarah, but I don't agree with, revenge thing. Other characters that comes to your mind? Yes.
I was thinking Krishna revenge against Kamsa.
Krishna's revenge against Kamsa. Yeah. Was it revenge or Krishna's duty? Name dveshasti. What I said? Name dvesho nasti priyasa. Right? He's like, I'm not inimical to anybody. I am not priya or dear to anybody. I'm indifferent to everybody. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. So he says he does not take revenge from anybody. As a part of his duty, he was doing because he had to kill. In fact, it's opposites. People, as a person, this person Putana, she came to kill him. And he awarded him the biggest benediction ever possible, a position of his own mother in the spiritual realm. Somebody who is trying to kill.
Kill him with kindness.
Huh?
Is that like saying killing with kindness?
Killing with kindness, yeah. So it's a kind revenge. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm not still convinced on the character. So yeah, Krishna is, most of these things, they fit into him. Others? Yes, Prabhu.
What about Dhruva Maharaj?
Dhruva Maharaj, okay, why do you think so?
He was very determined. He took the vow that he wants a kingdom that's larger than Lord Brahma. He was very austere. He performed austerities for 3 to 6 months.
6 months, yeah, okay.
And he got the Sakshat Darshan of the Lord, so spiritual realization.
Good.
Revenge, because later on in his life, when a Yaksha killed his brother, he wanted to take revenge on the entire Yaksha clan.
Okay.
Anger management. Well, he was angry, and then I think Lord Brahma...
Manu.
Right, Manu. Swayambhava Manu, yes. He helped him manage his anger. Public administration. Once Uttanapad became Uttanapad crowned him the king, he took over and ruled very well. Retirement planning. He planned his retirement at age 5. He wanted to go away to the forest.
Yes.
And detachment. Well, I'm not sure about detachment. Particular answer. Maybe he was just detached from the result. He followed whatever Narad Muni tried to take him.
I can help you. He was detached from his family. The time he decided to grieve, he left his family at night and then just left everything and his kingdom and everything and went to the Badrikashram. Right? So first of all, thank you, and then a big hand for Prabhu's answer. Hari Bol. Yeah, this is precisely the person we're talking about, Dhruva. And I'm so glad that you just brought this up so eloquently. Every single the event in his life, you are giving the Shastric Pramana. That's how the values we're talking about, right? Knowledge, having his knowledge is one thing. Srila Prabhupada's books are full of knowledge. It's a lifetime worth of reading and reading. But study is persons like Prabhu, like he's saying here, he's going into every single item and elaborating on every single aspect of Dhruva's life. And that's how he can relate to one character portrayal. So now we know it's Dhruva's life. Okay? Who does not know Dhruva? Can I assume everybody understands Dhruva's life, or do you still want a quick 2 minutes introduction to his life? Okay, so let's do it. So Dhruva is a 5-year-old kid, and he has a father and a mother, but then there's a mom, dad, and somebody else, which is a third person in his family, his parent, which is his stepmother. So his father, his name is Uttanapad, and he married 2 queens. One's name is Suniti, other's name is Suruchi. Suruchi is the one who apparently is more dear to the king. It's kind of nature, right? People tend to have more affection for one person versus another. So the king, Uttanapad, has somewhat more affection. He's more inclined towards his wife, whose name is Suruchi, and her son, Uttama. And the other queen, her name is Suniti, and her son is Dhruva, which is this person here. So you understand the family tree, right? 1 king, 2 queens, 2 sons, one from each. Now here's the day. 5-year-old boy playing around, and I don't know if screens were there in those days, but kids used to have real games, real plays, and they really want to go to their dads, like, I want to sit on your lap and play with you. My son, he comes to me like, Daddy, phone. He wants the YouTube and his Cocomelon cartoons. But Dhruva wanted to play with his dad and want to just be with his father. It's natural affection for his dad, 5-year-old child. But at that time, it happens that the stepbrother, Uttama, and other stepmother, they are there. And he is prohibited. He is stopped. Wait, you can't do that. Because you are the son of other queen. And Suruchi says, my son is the one who is the right heir to the throne, and he is the one. And you don't have that right to sit on the father's lap because you are just a stepson. If you have to do it, go and get spiritually realized, go to worship Lord Vishnu and get something in return, and then you can do it afterwards, but not today. This penetrates deeply in his heart. It just pierces. It says that words of people who are outsiders may not hurt you so much as the words of your own people. Getting stopped from sitting and playing with my own father's, his own lap, is a birthright of a child, and getting stopped from that birthright, how can you do that to me? The words of his stepmother pierced like arrows in his heart. He was so disappointed, depressed, and painful, so hurt. And angry like a snake. You know, when you put a foot on your snake, snake's just like angry, right? And then he's just hissing like a snake and goes away. And to his own mom and says, Mom, this is what happened there in the assembly. And the mom says, yeah, what can we do? We are given a secondary treatment here. But if you really want to achieve something in your life and want to have the right to be on that throne with your father, yes, you should go and worship Lord Vishnu. So he goes to the forest, and look at determination. That's the first point, determination. He's so determined that he leaves his house, and 5-year kid, imagine, like 5-year kids, what will they do? Like, okay, I'm leaving, come back after 20 minutes. I'm tired, right? But now he goes for not 1 or 2 days. He goes there for months and months. He performs severe austerities. Like he would just eat only fruits and berries for every 3 days, once in a 3 days time. And after first month, he realized maybe I'm overeating, I'm over-consuming. Maybe I should drink only water. So second month, he consumed only water every 6th day. And then he thought maybe, I'm again overindulging. He stopped his food and water. The second month he had grass, dry grass and some leaves and those things. Third month, every 9th day, he would take some water a little bit. 4th month, he would just simply take some air, completely stopped all eating, all drinking, only air, once in 12 days, right? Yeah. And 5th month, he would just simply stop breathing also. And his austerities made him so strong that he was practically so heavy, he would stand on his 1 foot for this motionless, unmoving on his one foot. It's a tapasya, austerity he was doing. And by the time he was almost 5 or 6 months, he was doing like that. He became so heavy that because of his austerities, the balance of the universe got disturbed. And then the demigods and the in charge of different systems, they approached the Lord Brahma. And the story goes, and then Lord Vishnu appears after that, and he blesses him. Okay, what do you want? And that's where Dhruva shows his spiritual realization, which is, I was looking for a piece of glass, broken glass, just shattered, broken glass. But what I have received is Lord Vishnu himself coming to me. It's the biggest of all jewels I'm seeing here. And that's where he's fully realized and understands that, okay, I was doing something wrong, and I was pursuing material things for over the past 6 months. Yes, I was angry. I wanted to achieve the kingdom better than my father's kingdom, actually. So I can show him, yeah, I'm better than you, my dad, right? But look at what I was doing. I could have worshipped, or I could have asked Lord Vishnu Narayan's mercy. But this small things I was asking for, they are compared to broken glass. So then the Lord blesses him, and he's given a planet which is bigger than his father's, grandfather's, great-grandfather's kingdom. Lord Brahma's kingdom, he's given a Dhruva, like a pole star. So it's a pole star realm where he ruled, and it's never going to annihilate, it's said. He ruled for 36,000 years. And then story goes on. So he, once he was a king, when he grew up, he was given the kingdom and he was ruling. So his stepbrother, Uttama, so now he goes to the forest, he gets killed, and now Dhruva again demonstrates some familial bondings here. It's said that blood is thicker than water, right? So yeah, I understand in the childhood we had those issues, but growing up, I'm self-realized now, and I have right duty to perform. So he was so attached to his family now that he's taking revenge because some celestial beings, some yaksha, they killed his brother, his stepbrother, in the forest. So he goes out to revenge. And in revenge, he starts fighting single-handedly with 130,000 soldiers on the other side. And he kills them brutally. He showers incessant arrows and fierce weapons, and he keeps on fighting, and keeps on cutting their limbs, heads, and everything. And it's a barbaric, brutal bloodbath. It's happening. And he's killing hundreds and thousands of yakshas to take revenge for his loss of his one brother. That's where he demonstrates a revenge. And then anger management. Initially, he is unable to manage the anger, but then after the intervention of superior people, Manu, his grandfather, comes and he intervenes, and then he subdues his anger and says, okay, pacifies him, calms him down, and fine, okay, I get it. I'm sorry about that. I'll not do it. That's how he listens to the senior people. Then he continues to rule. Bhagavatam talks about his public administration, how he was a father to his citizens. He would rule very religiously. He would perform all his duties very diligently. And then when the time came, he took the right step, retirement. He detached from his family, his kingdom, and then he moved out of his family and finally went to the Himalayas, the mountains, go in the north, like Badrikashram there. And he was fully focusing on meditation and praying and worshipping Lord Vishnu. That's how he planned his retirement. So all of these qualities, I shouldn't say qualities actually. These are not, revenge and anger is not a quality, but yeah, revenge is not a quality, but I would say characteristics is a better way, right? Or features of somebody's lifestyle or some person's character. They are, yes, we see all of these qualities in Batman, as ChatGPT, but as students of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see this all in Dhruva Maharaj. So we are going to do some reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Mataji, if you can please bring up Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12 and verse 14. That would be very good. Thank you so much. And if you can also make it bigger, it's great. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiryayet. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 12th chapter, 14th verse. Please repeat after me. First we'll do word for word translation. Evam, thus, Bahu, many, Savam, years, Kalam, time, Mahatma, great soul, Avichal Indriya, without being disturbed by sense agitation. Three Varga, three kinds of worldly activities. Apaikam, favorable for executing. Nitva, having passed. Putraya, to his son. Adat, he handed over. Nripa Asanam, the royal throne. Evam Bahusavam Kalam, Mahatma Vichalendriyaha, Trivarga Gopaikam Nitva, Putrayadan Nripasanam, Evam Bahusavam Kalam, Mahatma Vichalendriyaha, Trivargaurpaikam Nitva, Putrayadan Nripasanam, Evam Bahusavam Kalam, Mahatma Vichalendriyaha, Trivargaurpaikam Nitva, Putrayadan Nripasanam. Audience, please, one of you.
Evam bahu savam kalam,
Evam Bahusavam Kalam,
Mahatma Vichalendriya,
Mahatma Vichalendriyaha,
Trivargaupayikam Nitva,
Trivargaupayikam Nitva,
Putrayadan Nripasanam.
Putrayadan Nripasanam. Anyone? Sarah, Thais, anyone of you would like to read? That's fine, try.
Hivam Bhutam, I can't see very well. That's not focused for me.
Want to come in the front?
Satav, yeah.
Okay, you can come in the front if you like and read.
No, I see blurry.
Evam Bahutsavam. You can read like this.
Evam Bahusavam Kalam.
Evam Bahusavam Kalam.
Mahutamam
Vichalendriya.
Vichalim Triya.
Mahatma Vichalendriyaha.
Trivargupa Yatam Nitvam.
Trivargaupayikam Nitva.
Putrayatanam
Nripasanam.
Upasanam.
Putrayadan Nripasanam. Thank you. Translation. The self-controlled great soul, Dhruva Maharaj, thus passed many, many years favorably executing three kinds of worldly activities, namely religiosity, economic development, and satisfaction of all material desires. Thereafter, he handed over the charge of the royal throne to his son. So there are 5 chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam dedicated to the story of Dhruva Maharaj. And we are towards the end, the concluding part of his activities. As we see, the detachment and retirement planning, that he performed his duty and now he's getting detached, and now he has handed over the charge of the royal throne to his son. Now he's planning for retirement. Not like the modern day people who are 70 and 78 and then 80 and 88 and still so much attached to the administration that they just cannot let go of it. Just so attached that until somebody comes and shoots them, or until somebody kicks them disrespectfully, kicks them out of the modern day palace, whatever they call. They are so attached to their positions that they will not take timely retirement. And they have their reasons to say, yeah, because there is nobody, a successor for me, nobody is capable who is able to pick up the management after I leave. Oh, I must contest for the second term, third term, fourth term, like that. And they keep on doing it like that, right? But if you are doing first term, second term, great. But if you have failed to select or even train a successor, it's not a succession planning, right? It's a part of succession planning that you are there, you have to groom new leaders after you, because it's a part of management in companies also. So it's a failure on your part if you cannot simply groom the new successor after you. But unfortunately, people these days, the leaders, they keep on getting stuck to that position of power for generations and generations of like 4 years or 5 years terms every time they have. Anyways, so this was Dhruva Maharaj. We saw his life from 5-year-old time to when he is at least 36,000 years old. Purport. Perfection of materialistic life is suitably attained by the process of observing religious principles. This leads automatically to successful economic development, and thus there is no difficulty in satisfying all material desires. Since Dhruva Maharaj as a king had to keep up his status quo, or it would not have been possible to rule over the people in general, he did it perfectly. But as soon as he saw that his son was grown up and could take charge of the royal throne, he immediately handed over the charge and retired from all material engagements. One word used here is very significant, avichalendriyaha, which means that he was not disturbed by the agitation of the senses, nor was his sensory power diminished. Although in years he was a very old man, since he ruled over the world for 36,000 years, naturally one may conclude that he became very, very old. But factually his senses were very young. And yet he was not interested in sense gratification. In other words, he remained self-controlled. He performed his duties perfectly according to the materialistic way. That is the way of behavior of great devotees. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya, was a son of a very rich man. Although he had no interest in enjoying material happiness, when he was entrusted with doing something in managing the state, he did it perfectly. Srila Gaura Sundara advised him, "From within, keep yourself and your mind completely aloof, but externally, execute the material duties just as they need to be done." This transcendental position can be achieved by devotees only, as described in the Bhagavad Gita. While others, such as yogis, try to control their senses by force, devotees, even though possessing full sensory powers, do not use them because they engage in higher transcendental activities. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's stop for a couple of minutes and take any reflections and realizations that you may have, and we can have questions afterwards. But let's see if you have anything out of this purport that kind of resonates with you and you have some thoughts to share. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. First of all, I really like the topic, how you chose. Many times we read the books, but we are not able to go deeper. Just like a student, you are getting this nice contrast. We see detachment, we see duty. So I really like the topic and the different attributes from Dhruva Maharaj's life. It's very beautiful. I particularly like this word Prabhupada emphasizes, avichalendriya, that even though his senses were strong after ruling for 36,000 years, still he remained self-controlled. It's practically very difficult because he was a king. Everything was available for enjoyment, but still he remained self-controlled. It's easy to be
supposed to enjoy, right?
Yeah, it's easy to be self-controlled if you are a beggar, it's easy if you
anything.
if you don't have anything. Some people, but if you're a king, you're supposed and you're offered so much adoration, profit, and worship. It's so difficult to remain self-controlled.
Actually, Prabhu, thanks for bringing that up, because recently I heard someone telling, it's an interesting thought they shared, that money is like oxygen for the poor people. For the poor, because they need it to stay alive. Money is a necessity for middle class people. Because we want to, at least I want to, improve my life from one point to another. And it's a necessity that will help me to get from one point to another, to improve my life after my basic needs are met. For rich people, money is a concern because they have to protect it. And somebody like who is super rich, like what you said, right, is even bigger than that, because they have to control themselves and staying avichalendriya, right, sense controlled, despite all of these facilities around luxury and all the topmost things in the entire planetary system. It's very hard to control. So it's a good point. Other thoughts?
I read somewhere that the beggars that they talk about are the monks are not really beggars. They don't have anything. And they are the real king. The king, they have desire. They run after money and power all the time.
So monks, monks?
The monks are the kings, actually. They
monks
don't
are the
have
kings.
Desire. They're detached.
They're detached, okay.
And the kings are the beggars. They're constantly running, or the presidents. They're constantly running after power and money.
Kings are running. Okay, so they are the beggars.
Yeah.
They are the beggars. Good point. So monks are the kings and the kings are the beggars. Monks are not beggars. Yeah, monks are the kings. So true. And that actually brings us to the point of detachment. The topic for today is detachment. And we will touch the duty part in a few minutes. But detachment, as you rightly mentioned, Sarah, right? So detachment we can see here from Dhruva Maharaj's character, that he was so detached. And it's called, this detachment is more than the superficial. It's deeper in the heart, right? It's not superficial. It's not outwardly. It's very, very subtle, very deep. And it's something that somebody realizes over the lifetime, that I have to get away from certain things, right? As in the Holy Bible, they say, be of the world, be in the world, not of the world, right? Yeah. Okay. So other thoughts on this one? Or else we can move forward. Have something? Okay. So that's so that is the life story of Dhruva Maharaj, and concluding with his detachment and his retirement planning here. So Mataji, can you bring up the presentation, please? Thank you for all the Zoom. Thank you to all the Zoom audience dialing in from different parts of the world. Slide. What happened? Prabhu, oh yes. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Oh, what happens? It's not moving? Oh, just a second. Okay. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada actually writes in the purport here, Dhruva Maharaj performed his duties perfectly according to the materialistic way. What does performing duty according to materialistic way mean to you? It's a question to all of you. And audience on the Zoom, feel free to chime in. The question is, Dhruva Maharaj performed his duties, but what does it mean to you to perfectly perform your duties according to materialistic way?
Hare Krishna. I think this is, we try to mingle with the society or the environment where we live in, and we try to match the expectation from what we are supposed to do in a particular situation. Like for example, you may not personally like going to a birthday party and cut a cake with kids, but then because you have a duty, you still have to do, honor the time, honor the company of others. You may like it or not, but you do it just because you should do it.
They are things that you are doing as a part of social obligation or family responsibility that you are doing. We may not like them, but we have to do them. Okay, so that's for you. Yes, Prabhu.
The translation to this verse says, Dhruva Maharaj took care of dharma, artha and kama, all three of them, three of the four purusharthas. So the three of the purusharthas are actually what materialistic is, and moksha is beyond materialism. So he did, I think the translation said economic development,
religiosity
dharma,
and artha is economic development, and kama is fulfillment of desires. So it was to him. What does it mean to you? It was translation. As I said, right, the people sitting 5,000 years ago for 1,000 years seminar, they wrote certain things, they discussed certain things, not to just pass on knowledge, but for us to have some values in our life. So what is the value of this statement for us? Thais, yes. Go ahead. Can we have one more mic, please?
When I think about materialistic way, personally, I still think like what wouldn't hinder my spiritual though. You know, like it's still working materialistic, but like without affecting what I'm trying to do in a spiritual way. So that's my materialistic way of doing it properly. I still kind of like try to make sure that even though it's materialistic.
Explain this to a 9-year-old kid.
I have to do my things, like for example, I have to cook, it's materialistic, I have to work, but when I'm doing it, I'm still thinking how, in a spiritual way, like I do proper food, and I work thinking Krishna consciousness. So that's my materialistic, proper way of doing. So it is materialistic, but...
So it appears materialistic, but your intent is fixed on serving Krishna.
I try to.
Try to. Good. Thank you. Other thoughts in the back? Yes, Prabhu.
I think also going back to that first slide of duty and detachment, you look at it in that way as you try to execute whatever duty you're given perfectly. If you have a job, or you're a father, mother, or your sister or something, some obligation you have, some role you're trying to fulfill, you execute that duty perfectly, but you remain detached from the results or from the actions. You're still thinking of Krishna the whole time.
But then how do you bridge the gap between detachment and duty? They seem to be two different things, right? That there is detachment, that I must be detached from certain things, but then there are duty that I have to fulfill as a part of my material life. And there is a bridge that needs to be crossed between the two poles.
I think that detachment from the results, right?
That's on the one side. Detachment is there. And what you explained is the duty. So we'll discuss that And I hope that is good enough to hold you for next 30 minutes. Okay? Okay, so far we are clear, right? So there is detachment on one side and there is duty on the other side. And Dhruva Maharaj performed his duties and he was detached. We also took some reflections from the audience here of how we can perform the duty, but we can stay detached from it. But then there is a bridge to be crossed. And for those who are not so experienced, I hope the next few minutes will bring you some more enlightenment here. So we continue with reading this purport, and then Srila Prabhupada actually brings up a very interesting character here now. We talked about Dhruva Maharaj, and now there is a sudden twist, and it goes to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. So he is one of our previous acharyas, a senior Vaishnava, and tomorrow happens to be his appearance day. Yes, his birthday is tomorrow. And if you don't know who that is, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the incarnation of Krishna himself, he appeared 500 years ago in Bengal. And then he entrusted his task, his responsibility is to six key students. So there were 5 others and there's Raghunath Das Goswami here. And if you see the picture on the left side, and that's the 6 people standing in the frame. So we are following the footsteps of these acharyas, especially Sri Rupa Goswami. He is considered senior most of all. But this is the story of Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami was born in a very rich family. He was born in a very, very rich family. He had his father who was very opulent and he was kind of the chief of that area, right? Some expensive, and he used to earn like what, some 12 lakhs of rupees, something like, I don't know how much in today's currency value would that be, but they didn't used to barter in terms of, like, okay, I will give you some grain, rice, and you will give me some cloth, right? Back in 500 years old. They used to just count coins like this, flip the coins like, I give you 10 coins, 12 coins, 20 gold coins like this. They used to play around with gold coins like this. This was his family. They would take some taxes from his father and his uncle. They would take taxes from the administration, from these people, as a part of their management of the city or the village. And then they would take the taxes and they would pass on some taxes to the government. They would keep some for themselves, and that's how they run the administration of the city. And so Raghunath Das Goswami, he was different from his family in the way that even though he was born in a rich family and he had full luxury, he had no shortage of anything. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, as they say. But still he was detached. And he went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mataji, can you bring up my presentation, please? So he went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him instruction. He said, you have to go back. You have your parents, you have your family, you have your wife. Take care of those family responsibilities. But internally, you can be a devotee. From outside, you have to take responsibility. You have to take care of your family members. What they are saying, even though there was no need for him to take care of his family members, because it's not like in my situation, your situation probably, that you have your parents in India, maybe you have the only son or the daughter, 1 or 2 kids maybe these days, and if something happens in your family, you have to rush back overnight, take a flight, and then take care of the parents and those things, right? Back in those days, he had a big regiment of all the servants and a lot of people. They were the chiefs of the area, and they were the super rich people of the area, so they had no shortage. Mataji, presentation, please. They had no shortage of anything. But still, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Raghunath Das Goswami to go back to his family and take care of his family affairs. So then, Raghunath Das Goswami, he went back to his family and he took care of his family affairs, his business, his family, whatever responsibilities were there, making money for the family. But his heart was deeper, still attached to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's service. So there is a time in his life, he decides finally to leave everything, and he runs away from his family, follows a secret path, because he knows that if I am following the regular routine path, I mean, if your son is going from here to San Francisco, you're like, yeah, 101 or 280, right? Only two paths, right? And then you're going to catch him. You'll send like 20 people to catch, cops everywhere or whatever, or private security people. But in those days, what he did was he did not follow a routine path. He followed a zigzag and a twisted path to go to Jagannath Puri to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that nobody could catch him. And he finally succeeded in meeting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri after a few days, 12 days or something. And then he went there and Mahaprabhu accepted him as disciple. He entrusted him under the care of Swarup Damodar Das, a senior Vaishnava. And from that day onward, Raghunath Das Goswami became fully engaged in devotional service, and he was completely retired from his family life from that incident. But yeah, he was instructed to follow the rules and regulations of his family, his standards, certain way he was expected to behave in his family environment. So this was the exact word Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. From within yourself, within keep yourself and your mind completely aloof, but externally execute the material duties just as they need to be done. So on the left side we can see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is instructing Raghunath Das Goswami. On the right side is the crowd. And we are just one person in this crowd. We are executing our material duties just as they need to be done. So let's discuss how devotees are performing our material duties while staying aloof from the material world. Because at the end of the day, I see still myself as a part of that crowd. You go in a public transit, you go in to stand in a traffic, you go to your work, you come back from Target, Walmart, Costco. We still have to be a part of this crowd outside. And that's the beauty of devotional service, that we are not people who are staying without family, without clothes, living in the Himalayas. They come out once in a few years and go to take a dip in the Kumbh water, right, in the Prayagraj. Most of us are, actually all of us are, even though we may not have families, but we are living in the middle of society here. And that's the beauty of bhakti. The bhakti path, the devotion path doesn't mean that we have to renounce or we have to just leave everything from the societal point of view and go away in the mountains. We have to live in this crowd of people. But then there's a conflict. There's a situation where, so dilemma, I personally feel that I'm living a dual life. I am giving a Bhagavatam class here. Some of you might say I'm a pujari, I do services here. And then go to my Zoom meetings and office Teams meeting. And I speak certain things. And I meet with certain people. And I do certain things, which probably you might not appreciate from a strict Vaishnava standard. But as a duty, I have to perform certain things and work in a certain way. Am I the only one who is feeling like that? Am I the only one who is living a dual standard of life? No? Who is with me? Everybody, right? How? You are keeping yourself and your mind completely aloof, but externally you are performing material duties. So how would you explain this to somebody who is new and who is afraid that, picking up the path of devotion or bhakti to Krishna might take me away from my responsibilities of family? So let's put it this way.
I hear from a lot of people they refuse to read Bhagavad Gita. They said, if I read Bhagavad Gita, then I gave up the world. And then I listen to Bhagavad Gita. I cannot read very well, but I don't stay away from the world. I can help people as much as I can. By profession, I studied nutrition, but that was kind of worthless. And I got into Ayurveda, but still I can help people. And then I do my chanting, I meditate. I'm also into yoga, sorry. I do yoga, so that's my spiritual world, kind of separated from the materialistic world of going to work and do this and do that. But like Prabhupada was mentioning that keep your mind aloof. And the mind is calm. You're not feverish. You're not a touch running after something like we see a lot of people driving feverishly and mindlessly. But if you're aware and awakened, then you can balance both. You know where you are, what you're doing, and your mind is not running ahead of you. Your mind is with you. You're detached and not attached to the fruit of the action, like you read that.
So Maharaj just brought a very important point. Thank you. And I remember the words you mentioned, aware and awakened. If we are aware and awakened. So we talked about two extremes. One is detachment, other is the duty. But then comes into picture some level of awareness, some level of awakening. That is bridging the gap between the detachment and duty, which I was referring to earlier. Good point. Thank you. Awareness and awakening. Others? Silence.
Hello.
Haribol.
Haribol, this is Shirley.
Shirley, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Let's
Krishna. For me,
bring that up in the camera, please, in the screen.
yeah. I'm
Go ahead.
thinking, okay, I'm thinking for myself, it's normally to not get emotional when I'm around worldly people or activities. I have to do certain things, but try not to stay emotional. And I always like that scripture, keep Krishna on your mind, always keep thinking of him. And that's what I try to do, is to just remember Krishna in those moments, because it is hard at times.
So don't get emotional and keep Krishna in the mind. Keep Krishna in the center.
Correct.
That's very powerful. Thank you.
Mhm.
So now we are filling the bridge, right? We are brick by brick, we are building the bridge together. And I'm not doing anything, it's all of you who is doing. So please contribute. All of you. More thoughts, please. How do you bridge the gap between detachment and duty? We heard awareness, awakening, no emotion, or less emotional and more Krishna-centered. What else can cover the gap? What are you doing in your life which you think might help others if we listen from you today? Yes, Prabhu.
While driving to wherever we go work or something, we can listen to a class so that, we can all, the mind always is active behind. So if we have heard some transcendental vibration in the morning, then automatically the mind is attached to Krishna somehow or the other while we are working.
So you said listening to the classes of kirtan. That's very important because Srila Prabhupada actually makes a difference here. He distinguishes clearly between devotion and devotional service. In our life, we are using devotion as devotional service. And that's where he emphasizes a lot on this word. Devotion, some people might say, yeah, I come to a temple, I have a bhakti in my heart, I'll just sit silently and look at Krishna. That's fine, that's okay. But devotional service means, by service, the word service means you are active. There's an active ingredient of something. Either you are chanting or you are listening or you are doing some service. There's some cooking, cleaning, speaking, dancing. All of these services in Krishna consciousness, they make devotional service a complete all-round experience in our life. And that's why Srila Prabhupada emphasizes on the word devotion service and not just devotion. Good point, Prabhu. Yeah, so there are definitely advantages, disadvantages for everything. There's always ups and downs. Living in society brings with its own challenges. As I said, we have to live with certain people, talk in certain way, do certain things. We may not always appreciate, others might judge us for that, but we have to do the part of our duty. And then, but we internally we know that we are aloof from that. We are not attached to any of those things. Bring up back that point from the Bible. Be in this world, but not of this world. Okay. So next slide. I'll go to next one. What happens to? Okay. Too small to read, but Mataji, can you click on the speaker button? Let's listen from Srila Prabhupada what he says about this topic. And to Sarah's point, people have this misconception that if you read Bhagavad Gita, you will get out of the society, you will become somebody separated from the society, the mainstream. And that's precisely the question somebody asked Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada actually answers that.
So is it right that if you come to Krishna consciousness, all the duties are automatically changed?
All the duties, the summarization of duty, atapungi dijasrashta, varnashrama vibhava. There are different duties. But the real duty is samsiddhi haritosha. Whether you have satisfied Krishna, then you have done all. There are different types of duties. But whatever you do, the success is whether by your duty you have satisfied Krishna. Then it is success.
Prabhu, how do you regard the detachment idea?
There is no question of detachment. These are all bogus propaganda. You cannot be detached. The duty does not mean detachment. You have to do your duty. There is attachment. Where is the detachment? These are simply bogus propaganda. There cannot be detachment. Detachment means, real detachment means that everything belongs to Krishna. So, you have no proprietors. That is detachment. If you falsely claim it is mine, that is attachment. Unnecessary. It is not here.
So detachment is a bogus thing, right? So Prabhupada says. And here he is referring to the people who are so-called detached from the society. They say, okay, we are living our family and we are living in the forest and we will not do any job and we will not take care of the responsibilities. But we will simply focus on meditation and go and once in a while come to city and take a dip in the Ganges. As a Bhakti Yoga practitioners, we have to appreciate the value of both detachment and duty in the sense of Krishna consciousness. And if I combine all of these words together, awareness, awakening, and emotional control and keeping Krishna in the center, that comes to one word, wisdom. Srila Prabhupada writes in his Bhagavad Gita purport, in his chapter 6, I believe, 6. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasya te katita hirta prakashante mahatmana. This comes from Shvetastara Upanishad, which means that there are two keys, two ways to understand this wisdom coming from all these scriptures. Having the firm faith without any tinge of doubt, full faith on two people, Lord Krishna and a spiritual master. I would like to conclude the session today by saying that if we follow these two principles, by having full faith that Krishna is with me all the time, he guarantees, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhayuktanam yogakshemam vahamiham. I will take care of you. Whatever you don't have, I will give you. Whatever you have, I will preserve it. So which means there is nothing for me to lose, either in this world or next world. And second, full faith, full trust on spiritual master. And to those people who actually have the unflinching faith on these two, all the wisdom from all the Vedic literatures, all the scriptures, automatically gets revealed to us. And that's how you comprehend all the connections between the detachment and the duty. It doesn't come overnight. In the morning I get up, I'm enlightened tomorrow morning. It comes with experience. And the wisdom, they say you can bring the horse to water, you cannot make it drink. Or you can give wisdom to a person, you cannot make him wise. We will become wise only by experiencing, by learning certain things. And certain things have to be learned in the right disciplic succession, in the right way, by the right teachers, keeping Krishna in the center. That's the conclusion for today's session. We'll take a couple of minutes for any questions, if you may have, or share any reflections that you may have from today's session before we hand over to Raseshwari Mataji at 9:30. Yes, please, question or comments.
We learned this in another Srimad Bhagavatam course that Prabhupada Swami mentioned that the highest profession of man is bhakti. Without bhakti, there's nothing in there. When bhakti is there, you balance both, the duty and your responsibilities.
Bring bhakti in the life and things will automatically go in the right place.
Yeah, bhakti and conviction.
Yes.
Shraddha.
Shraddha. Yes. Very nice. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I think to me, detachment actually helps performing the duty, because sometimes like we say, Ubhe Sukruta Diskrita, like unless we have detachment, we will always be attached like this is good thing, this is a bad thing. So we always tend to go to do the good thing and then not do the what we think not good or duskruta. So unless we are detached, we will be unable to perform duty, because duty means we do not always have to do what we think good or what we like to do. For example, if I allow free will to my kids, they will perhaps watch 12 hours television, and then I can beat them if I am allowed to do that one as well. So if I am not attached, then I don't have to do what I like. I also have to do the ones I do not like just because I should do it and I must do it.
You're saying detachment and duty, they go hand in hand together.
Yes.
Well, actually, that reminds me of maybe about, 15, 20 years, how many years it was. There was a movie in India. Some of you might know, it's called Munna Bhai MBBS. Right? It's the story of a doctor, it's a kind of a gangster who becomes a doctor. So, so he goes to his first class, and there's a professor who is giving the first class. And now he's giving an interesting lecture, interesting topic of this detachment and duty. He's saying, as doctors, we have to be fully detached from the patient. Anyone remembers that dialogue? He says, if I am operating on my daughter, my hands will shake because I'm attached to her. So as a patient, his doctor-patient relationship is always detachment, because doctor might have to do surgery on his or her own child tomorrow, which is full of risk. So it's a duty that doctor has to perform. At the same time, there is a detachment the doctor must be following. So I guess that kind of resonates with your point. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. Any questions? So if no, then we can wrap this up. And to conclude, yes, detachment from the material things. Money is not bad, first of all. As I said, money is important. But you must understand that when we have our present, we plan our future based on the present. Our current situation, we think my future will become better if I do this. So if I'm doing certain things, I am preparing, I'm planning my present, keeping in my mind long-term future. Agree? That does not work with Krishna. Krishna plans our present based on our future. And that is the wisdom that bridges the gap between the detachment and duty. I hope that helps everybody. Yeah, sure. We tend to plan our future based on our present situations. Krishna plans our present based on what he has in mind for our future. If you have not realized it, you will realize very soon. But most devotees realize it sooner or later in their life. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. I thank the temple authorities for allowing me the time to speak and elaborate on Srimad Bhagavatam. If you have any questions or comments, you can always discuss with me afterwards, and we can pass on the mic to Raseshwari Mataji. Vancha-kalpatarubhascha kripa-sindhubhya vichya-patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaved Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Thank you, Yaśodā-kṛpā Prabhu, for a very enlivening class. Always a pleasure and honor to hear. I want to now introduce our next part of the morning program. Arna will be presenting on another aspect of the Dhruva pastime. For the past 2 weeks, we were hearing how Dhruva Maharaj has gone to he's been, scolded, chastised by his stepmother, and after that he gets 3 pieces of golden advice from his mother, Suniti. And now what happens is what Arna will be covering. Come on.
Hare Krishna. So the chapter is called Determination Tested. And as Mataji said, there was 3 advices. So Dhruva really liked the 3rd one, and it was that worshipping Lord Vishnu for your heart's desire. So what was in Dhruva's heart? What was his desire? So if you think about it, if you're a 5-year-old and you're getting repetitively told that you cannot sit in your father's lap, what will you want is that you will want a position in which you can sit on your father's lap and you can have a higher position. So that's what Dhruva wanted. He wanted to attain a higher position, even higher than his father and his grandfather. So to do that, so to worship Lord Vishnu, he decided to leave for forest and worship Lord Vishnu there. So even though Dhruva's goal was a material goal, everyone has this Paramatma, Lord Vishnu, residing in their hearts who know their intentions. So it was okay for Dhruva to have a material desire, because in the end, the Paramatma will lead you to have a good bhakti. Because Dhruva didn't have any bhakti for the Lord, and he didn't even know how Lord looked. So meeting Narad Muni. So as Dhruva went into the forest, he met Narad Muni there, who was sent by Lord Vishnu to help guide Dhruva into his path of bhakti. There, he was amazed by Dhruva's determination because he was a 5-year-old boy who just got scolded by his stepmother and was impacted by harsh words and decided to worship Lord Vishnu for it. So he asks Dhruva, what difference can you, a 5-year-old boy, can tell between insult and an honor? If you are smart enough to know the difference, that if your stepmother is praising you or if she's insulting you, then you should also know that there's a karmic cycle behind it, and whatever you do has a consequence to it, and that's why you're hearing the insult or the honor for you. So in your past life, you must have done something to get this. Test of determination. After Narad Muni tells him that, he tells Dhruva that you won't be able to please Lord Vishnu as you're just a 5-year-old boy, and there's so many sages doing so many austerities for thousands of years, or maybe even takes them lifetimes to just please Lord Vishnu. So it's gonna take you a long time and you might not be able to succeed. You should understand also that that you should always be satisfied in any condition of life, and you should not reach out to Lord just in anger. Hearing this, Dhruva's determination only got bigger, because there was Narad Muni telling him that there were so many animals in the wildlife and you might get hurt and you should go back home. But Dhruva just wanted to please Lord Vishnu for this. He wanted to please Lord Vishnu that I can do this and I want a higher position. Then Narad Muni gives Dhruva 3 keys to healthy relationships. He tells him that there's 3 different types of people in your world. They're either your senior, your peers, or your juniors. Those who are more qualified than you, you should be happy for them, and you should not be envious or jealous of them. Those who are equally qualified for you, you should be befriending them instead of competing with them and telling them bad things. Those who are less qualified than you, you should be kind to them and help them instead of telling them harsh words. Clarifying Dhruva's intentions. All this time, Dhruva had been listening and he hadn't spoken a word. Now was his time to finally speak. He first of all tells Narad Muni how great he is and how much he appreciates Narad Muni giving all these advices to him. Then he tells him that being born in a Kshatriya family, he doesn't think this advice is gonna be applied in his life. He thinks Narad Muni should go tell this advices and instructions to someone in the Brahmana family who can apply this in their life. Then he asks Narad Muni's blessings in order to achieve his goal of attaining a higher position. And then Narad Muni doesn't take any offense for Dhruva's denial, even though Dhruva was telling him that he won't be able to apply the instruction. Narad Muni doesn't take any offense. Instead, he lets Dhruva express his emotions and tells him that it's okay and I understand, and he empathizes with him. Thank you for listening. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Arna. Any questions, comments, or reflections? Yellow mic.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful presentation, Arna.
Thank you.
So I like your story, the narration of Dhruva's qualities here. And one slide caught my attention was the treatment of different people, less qualified, more qualified. Can you bring that up, please? Yeah, healthy relationships. So my question is that growing as a teenager in a school, right? So how do you apply these principles, and maybe what we can learn from the youth these days? How you apply these in your school when you see there are kids who are more qualified, less qualified, and some is given preferential treatment. Others are not treated equally. These things happen, I think, all the countries, all the schools, right? It's a common thing in all of workplace. Honestly, like I'm asking from workplace perspective. So lessons you can give me from your school.
So there's gonna be 9th graders next year when I'm going to school, and then I just had this high school presentation, and they were telling me all about the good stuff that happens in high school, and then they were telling me how they're doing sports. And I didn't join any sports yet, so I was like, oh, they're doing sports. That's so cool. Maybe I should also join one. And I was happy that they're doing sports and they can be athletic. So I was like, this is so good, and like I should also do something instead of being envious.
So you feel inspired by those who are doing and you were not able, and now you are doing sports.
I will try.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments? Reflections?
Hare Krishna. I think I have a small comment that the slides are getting better over these, like the recent weekends. The slides are getting much better in like content and quality and the aesthetic. They are so beautiful. Thank you.
Prabhu.
Yeah, this is totally the children actually. I don't give any input in terms of the, what template they pick. I just review it. And I'm noticing too that there is so much interest that the children are putting, and that shows. And it makes me feel very happy, because this is all their devotional service to the deities and to Srila Prabhupada, to Parampara, and to all the devotees here. So yeah, it's a very heart-touching. I really liked your slides very much myself. And I like the organization of the information also.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Arna, Arna, thank you for the nice presentation. In the beginning you mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that Dhruva took the third piece of advice out of the 3. You gave some reasoning why he picked up the 3. Could you give that again? I didn't get that. Yeah.
Okay. So the first advice was that you should always be happy for others. And the second advice was that there's the karmic cycle and you will always get like what you deserve. So Dhruva was out of anger. Like he was like, my stepmother said this to me, what should I do? So Suniti gave those 3 advices. So Dhruva So Dhruva liked the third advice because it was like about worshiping Lord Vishnu for his heart's desire. And he really needed that because he wanted to fulfill his desire of attaining a higher position. But the first 2 he didn't really like that much because it was more about being good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Dhruva's pastime is actually so much in detail. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually heard Dhruva and Prahlad's pastime so many times. And I'm realizing as we were reading this book that every aspect of the story, there is actually so much to learn, so many nuances, and they are applicable not just for children or for adults. Actually, it applies to every person in this world. Everyone can take away something. And it's interesting how Dhruva, being a child, he's mature enough to actually say, okay, this advice I can accept, that one I cannot, because it is not my state of mind yet. So, yeah, it's a lot of got a lot of good lessons. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Prabhuji.
I think on that point, Mataji, even today, like grown-ups or the kids alike, we may listen to advice in the background scene, right? I may not choose to follow them. What I think it's more important here is that he was very clear, telling upfront in the face that I will do this, I will not do that. Versus we might be not honest to ourselves, and then we might listen and say, yeah, I will do that, and then who cares? People say all those things and not follow them. That shows his maturity.
Yeah. And children are not duplicitous. They're very straightforward.
Yeah.
And that actually played in his favor. That combined with his Dhridavrata, his determination, his Dhruvaness, right, of being determined, actually became a big blessing. He got the darshan of the Lord in 6 months, which, Prabhupada says that yogis for millions of lifetimes, they are trying to achieve the same and they can't. They're not able to achieve that, but he could. So it's a lot to learn, to be simple, clear, and determined. Yeah. Thank you for that. Any other thoughts? Yes, Prabhu.
Can you reflect on why Narada was not unhappy with Dhruva's denial?
I think it was because he really liked how Dhruva was being honest. Like he didn't say what Dhruva didn't say what he thinks that the sage wants to hear. He instead said like, I really don't think I can take this advice right now. So I think that's what Narad Muni liked. Like he didn't take any offense for the no, because like he really liked how Dhruva said the honesty and he was being truthful to the sage. I think that.
That's right. Thank you for that. Yeah. Even though he's a Kshatriya, but he's not into the diplomacy stage yet. He's still a child. So he's not being diplomatic with Narad Muni, and Narad Muni being a pure devotee can see that. So, yeah, nice point. Okay. Anything else? Any other thoughts? Okay. Thank you so much, Arna. That was very well done. And such a honor to always see you come up with, nice presentations, always coming from your heart. I pray that we can continue hearing from you. There's a lot to learn. Thank you. And thank you to all the audience for, encouraging the students. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So I think we have announcements, Prabhu, right now? Okay, so we just go over announcements.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining us for Saturday morning class. We would like to acknowledge our speaker for today, His Grace Yaśodā-kṛpā Prabhu. He started with the Japa circle this morning, where he read from Harinam Chintamani, written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. that how we have this anartha or a past bad habit of being lazy while chanting. So how can we curb laziness? He gave a solution of associating with devotees who chant their japa enthusiastically. So that was very practical advice for us. And in the Bhagavatam class, Prabhu gave a nice contrast. How can we bridge detachment and duty? We are not here to renounce the world, but we are here to utilize the world in Krishna's service. So Prabhu gave us the clip from Srila Prabhupada, where he says, detachment is bogus. There is no detachment. We can only engage everything in Krishna's service. So let's give him a big round of applause. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Thank you so much, Prabhu. Is there anybody coming for the first time? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. What's your good name? Yaśodā-kṛpā Prabhu. Are you visiting us or you have moved? Oh wow! Welcome, Prabhu. Where have you moved from? Wow! Welcome. Let's welcome His Grace Yaśodā-kṛpā Prabhu and family by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes. Oh yes. Yaśodā-kṛpā. Can use
a couple of interesting connections what Prabhu just mentioned today. So first his name, Yaśodā-kṛpā. We talked about Raghunath Das Goswami and his family priest. His kind of first guru was Yaśodā-kṛpā Pandit, right? So that's one fact for today, trivial. And second, the recording from Srila Prabhupada that we heard today is actually from Canada in the morning.
Who distribute Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Amritas until Gaur Purnima, which is on March 13, if I am not mistaken. So if you like to sponsor a set for your family, for colleagues, or get one for yourself, please contact me, or you can contact one of our volunteers. Or if you want to go for Sankirtan, you can also connect with me. Anything else? Cooks for today? Cooks for today is His Grace Kuldip Prabhu. Let's thank Kuldip Prabhu. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! We also like to thank our broadcast team. Because of them, Ramanand Sakha Prabhu and Krishangi Gopi Mataji, we are able to connect with so many devotees from all over the world. And they are also able to hear the Krishna Katha. Let's thank them. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So shall we do Prashadam prayers now? Or anything? Yeah, it will take... Sorry, Bol? Yeah, we can chant... okay, now or we should standing. Maybe we can chant the Prashadam prayers and then we can do Kirtan. We can wrap up. Sharira Vidya Jal Jodendriya Tahikal Jibe Pele Bishaya Sagore Tar Madhe Jibhayati Lobho Moy Sudurmati Take jeta katina samsare Krishna bodo doyamoy Kori bare jibhajay Swaprasadan dilo bhai Sheyanamrita pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Nitai Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Nitai. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Svalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishvasu Neva Jayate Prasade Sarva Dukkhana Hanirasya Upajayate Prasanna Chetaso Yashu Buddhi Paryavatishtate Tavyopabhukta Sragandha Vasolankar Charchita Uchishta Bhojino Dasastab Mayam Jaimahi Shushkam Paryushitam Vapi Nitam Varudradeshata Prapti Matrena Bhoktavyam Natra Kala Vicharana Na Desha Niyamastatra Na Kala Niyamastatha Praptam Annam Drutam Shishtayam Vyam Harirabhravid. Bhagavad Shri Mahaprasad ki jai. Now we'll put the seats back and then we can have kirtan for 10 minutes before we honor Prasad. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.